Well, here we are on Belly Acres. I ended up getting a couple of new knives here. You'll probably recognize the fine Ozark trail knife. I didn't want the fine orange ones, so I waited and ordered the black and this OD olive drab guy. I kind of like, I'm not really a fan of the orange stuff. Yeah, it flips up. You've all seen the knife several times before. I still kind of prefer this little guy here. It's get him in the view here a little bit. It's a little bit smaller. Actually, I'd like it to be about a ½ inch shorter than this. Maybe more like the size of this guy here. As you can see here, but instead of having to do with two hands, I kind of like this one hand deal. And yeah, these guys here will open with one hand also, but that's a bit too much knife there. Too big a knife for the kind of stuff that I want to do with them. But I've got two of them. Yeah, we've got them here. We got one in olive drab and one in black. And yeah, they open up just fine. But like I said, this one here is just a little smaller, and it's just a bit more convenient to do. It's SV30 steel, which that's what it says on the paperwork, and I've used it a few times. And as I showed you before, this little folder here, I got it and I've used it for several years. And yeah, but you'd have to use two hands to do it. And we got this fine little crescent here, little 4-inch crescent. It's called the 100 millimeter, which is just a little bit smaller than the 4-inch one, type adjustable wrench. And this guy here, we've got all the fine tools. I use this one for years. It's the Victronics. Again, two hands. I prefer these lock blades. It be locked. And when you want her down, lift up on this, I guess they call this an axis lock. Whatever. This one has it too. And yeah, it stays locked. And I push down on it, quite a bit of force and whatnot. It works, a guy's going to be okay with it, and you don't have a flex in here because it does have the steel liner in it. And that's the Ozark Trail. This one here is just some copy or whatever. It doesn't have a full liner in it, but these scales or handles, whatever you want to call them, these are of a stiff quality, and I could really push on it and get the flex just ever a little bit. But it's not something the average guy is going to be doing anyway. But of course, we're all going to mess with the lockback stuff because, it's just kind of a handy feature to have. But yeah, they close up and opens with one hand. I prefer this smaller one myself for tools. And yeah, I'm going to reprofile the blade. Maybe round this over a little bit, narrow this up as I sharpen it, and be more of a everyday type tool. Well, this is Les from Belly Acres, and we're just signing out here. Gonna go on out. Here's a fine view from the deck. Quite the mess out there because the guys Had it logged a few years ago, and well, they left a mess there. Yeah, you've all seen this view before. There's the mountain up there. We've ridden bicycle up there a time or two, motorbikes and all that kind of good stuff. You were with me when we were on the bicycle. Far, far, far away on that far ridge up there. We were up there too. But that's all fine and good. This is Belly Acres. Out.